In 2018, Lois and David Riess were just your average everyday grandparents in Blooming Prairie, Minnesota. They had 3 children and 5 grandchildren. She was a daycare worker and he ran a worm farm. They seemed like everybody else in Minnesota unless you dug a little deeper. Lois had a gambling problem, and the police called her Losing Streak Lois. In 2012, she was granted guardianship of her disabled sister, and between the years of 2012 and 2015, she embezzled over $100,000 from her sister to pay the bills, her gambling debts. Lois's son Braden has publicly stated many times his mother is a good woman, she just had her own demons. In order to not be prosecuted criminally, she gave up guardianship and was supposed to pay that money back, which I think is part of what drove her to what she did. That and her debt, her gambling debts all over the place. She was charged civilly and told to pay back the money, but she was never charged criminally for that. Fast forward from the civil judgment in 2016 to 2018, she's struggling. She's still struggling. She still has debt. According to what she told police, her and her husband were on their way home from one of their grandchildren's ball games when they got in an argument. They argued all the way home, and when they got home, Lois says he gave her a .22 pistol and told her to kill herself and put them both out of misery. Instead, she shot him. Nobody knows exactly what happened other than Lois, but after she shot him, she put him in their bathroom. She covered him with towels and stuck towels under the door to keep the air, the smell of the decaying body from getting out. Now, they were avid, they went to church, they community people, and they had friends, they went out. They were an active couple. So when he stopped coming around, people started getting curious. His friends would call, his clients and people he worked with. Lois just kept telling everyone that he was sick and planning to go on a fishing trip and just didn't have the time to call anybody back. Finally, a family friend reported him missing to the police. The police on March 23rd went out to the Riess home and found David's body in the bathroom, and Lois was missing along with their Cadillac Escalade. She stuck around for a while, a couple weeks, and then she went to Iowa. She wrote over $11,000 worth of bad checks while she was in Iowa gambling, and then took out from Iowa to Fort Myers Beach, Florida. When she got to Florida, she had one thing in mind, and that was to find someone that looked similar to her and take over their identity. Tess and Rod Coaster knew the Riesses in Minnesota and saw the news when Lois went on the run. They were tending to rental property in Fort Myers when Tess spotted Lois seemingly looking for a rental. When Lois realized it was Tess, she sped off. That's where she met 59-year-old Pamela Hutchinson, who did look much like her. Pam was in Fort Myers to visit friends, and she was a widow. She was there to scatter her husband's ashes. There is some video of Lois and Pam at a brewery happy hour, just hanging out, drinking, and then there's video of them leaving, and then other video of them arriving at Pam's timeshare. "45 minutes later, the video shows Lois coming out of Pam's timeshare looking kind of weird, and she rushes off and then comes back. She comes back with a bag and she's inside for another few minutes. She left with $5,000 of Pam's money and her car. She headed to Corpus Christi, Texas. Police tracked her and she was arrested at a bar in South Padre Island, Texas, without incident. She was sentenced to life after pleading guilty to first-degree murder on December 17th, 2019. I've exchanged letters with her and spoken with some of her family and friends, and by all accounts, she was a genuinely nice lady who seemed to just snap. In one of her letters to me, she says, "Yes, it's very hard to believe I'm at this place and position in this situation. Unbelievable, really. The fact that my children and family support and love and still respect me does say a lot about what, as a family, we lived and still are living through. My children are my life force, my best accomplishment to date." The death penalty had been on the table, but with permission from Pam's family and a plea of guilty from Lois, it was taken off and she was given life. So she has a long time to sit and think about what she's done.